Being BMW's flagship car, the 7 is of course all about luxury, prestige and technology. And to complete the experience, they actually flew us into Monticello this morning by helicopter from NYC. That was very cool, but what's even cooler sitting in this back seat are some features that make you feel like the ultimate boss. Take for instance the Samsung tablet, conveniently located in the center console. You hit the eject button, out it comes, and you have a whole bunch of cool settings you can control from the rear seats. Climates, your seats, navigation, radio, and so forth. Everything that you get via the screen here, but now in your hands in the tablet, much more convenient and comfortable. Another cool feature, of course, is a Bowers & Wilkins sound system. I'm a huge fan of Bowers & Wilkins BMW hi-fi speakers at home. I have a pair of 804Ds myself, and I love their diamond tweeter technology. It gives you a very sweet treble and makes female vocals almost holographic, almost real, almost in the room live with you. And now they've brought that same technology into an automobile. That is a first in the world. Extremely cool and something I really appreciate. Another cool thing is something they call the Executive Lounge feature. This will make you feel like Donald Trump. Check this out. Hit the Executive Lounge button. The front seats move forward and lean forward. The rear seats recline. And when it's done its thing, you actually see a footrest pop out from the front seats. And you can almost lie down. It's almost like being in a first class cabin. It is just extraordinary. Oh, what a way to travel. So we're going to start off doing a few laps of the Monticello short circuit. In front of me is BMW Racing ace Bill Oberlin in a 435i. We'll see how the 7 Series keeps up. It's a 750i with the Autobahn package and the X-Drive. Autobahn package is definitely the enthusiast special. It's got nicer wheels, bigger brakes, better suspension, and also, most importantly, active rear wheel steering. That's a very big plus, especially in a car this big. Here we are turning in. It's got a nice front end feel to it. Nice feedback through the tires, nice feedback through the steering. And on this downhill challenging sweeper section, kind of a chicane uphill, it holds its line very, very well. Oh, going a little wide there, but the X-Drive balances the power, shifts it back. I only have to grab a downshift, correct my line. Now full power down this straight. The brakes, trail braking to this apex. Car feels good. It's a big, heavy car, but the wheelbase definitely feels shorter than you would think. I'm actually running out of revs there. I gotta watch the rev limiter. I really enjoy this uphill sweeper here. It's a decreasing radius on the brakes, track out slightly. Now balance the throttle over the crest. You can feel the weight transfer happening, but when you see the white coating, you can actually go flat out and down this main straight. Let's see how brakes feel. I'm gonna brake pretty late and pretty hard. And the car is so well composed, especially under braking. It's a very solid BMW trait, nice trail braking feel. You can see Bill getting a little bit sideways there. This is a big, heavy saloon. It's for being chauffeured around. However, BMW did manage to take about 300 pounds spec for spec out from the previous outgoing generation. They did this mostly through the carbon fiber infused construction. It's not fully carbon fiber core, but it does have a lot of carbon fiber in it to reduce the weight. And they also reduce unsprung weight out of the wheels and tires and the brake rotors, and gives you much better comfort and dynamic performance. So I think you're feeling some of these benefits on the track right now. Well, this is a 7 Series. We've got to remember, we're going around the track pretty good in what is necessarily a limousine. I mean, these are driven by chauffeurs, driven by people who want the status and prestige and the technology, so to say, that with the 7. Oh, good. That feels good. Show braking. You know, the engine is so flexible in this 750i. You can almost drive this entire circuit in third gear. It's got so much dynamic range. Okay, I'm having a genuine good time. This is a 7 Series, and I am flogging it around like it's a 3, and really enjoying it. This uphill crest is very challenging, and I can actually start to feel the tires begging for mercy. Feel the X-Drive helping me up here, helping to rotate the car off the throttle. That's a great part of the X-Drive, when you're off the brakes, off the throttle, trying to turn in. Going in a little hot, the X-Drive sends power to the rear where you can actually feel that dynamic shift. It's got such a nice turn in, you know? If you drive it ham-fisted, yes, it will understeer, but if you're just a little bit delicate, a little bit considerate of the mass that you're carrying around, it turns in almost like a sports car. That's how good the turn-in is on this 7. Oh, they're perfect. Love the rotation. So in the wrong gear, but it was nice rotation, just going over those bumps.
Alright, this looks like this thing cool off quite a bit now. We got a probably really good knot.
Let's cool the car down. And there you have it, a few laps in the new 750i. With the Autobahn package. I mean, it seems a bit far-fetched that we're taking around a 750i around a track, but it can do it. This car absolutely can do it. And here's what I think makes it special. It is heavy. There is a great sense of mass around something like this. I think we're around 4,600 pounds, but what it does well is it controls its mass. And when you think about this car in terms of its own context of being a big limousine, the way it handles, the way it performs, the way it feels to the driver is very much enthusiast-oriented. It's a very well-behaved, very well-mannered, and surprisingly agile car. It's very easy to drive quickly. That's obviously not a track car, but the fact that it can perform so well on a track like this says to me that it's going to perform very well on the twisties, on the open road, on the fun kind of drives that you might actually do.
I don't know if since we drove them a little harder than normal.
So as much fun as it is to flog a 7 Series around a circuit, what really matters for a car like this is real-world safety and real-world handling and agility. So BMW has seen fit to set up a few handling exercises for us to test the 7 Series' agility and handling. So that feels pretty good. There's a real sense of agility for a car this big. I mean, you could feel the chassis moving around a bit underneath you. There is some scrubbing of speed from the front tires, but it does do everything that's intended. I was moving from comfort to sport. There's a bit more firmness in the sport, but overall the control is there. It's a big car, but it does shrink around you, especially once you've had some time to acclimatize with it. On the brakes, it feels just absolutely fantastic. The ABS lockup feels really natural, doesn't interrupt you in an unnatural way. It's a beautiful set of brakes, very, very good and confidence inspiring. And the steering is light, effortless. There is some good feedback from it by modern standards. And I think it's a great car to hustle around, especially on an exercise like this. I mean, these cars are big limousines, but the fact that they can still do these with such competence and grace says a lot about the dynamic character, says a lot about the way BMW builds the cars. For more information on the new BMW 7 Series, head over to bimmerpost.com.